Hey friends, this is Summer Danae with an applique pattern to make a bow. This bow is pretty easy peasy. It's all doubles and chains, and it's got some slip stitching at the end, unless you're into whip stitch or sewing. So I won't spoil the whole thing. Let's get started. So what you are going to do, first of all, I'm using Red Heart Super Saver and a size I 5.5 millimeter hook. And what you are going to do is you are going to chain 22. For this project, your tail can be normal. I guess this is like 4 inches. Usually you're supposed to leave like 6, whatever. So you're going to chain 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I really hope that's right. I'm going to count. Hold on. Yay, 22. Sorry. So you are going to double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. I like to work in the ridge. So there's 1 ridge, 2, 3, 4. This creates 2 double crochets. You're like, what? I know. So this first guy is a double, and then this chain 3 will act as a stitch. So trust me, even if I'm blurry. All right, so now what you're going to do is you've got, I don't know, 18 more chains left. So you are going to double in all of those chains. So a double is, I should have said this earlier. I hope you know. Yarn over, go in, yarn over, come back out, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so again, this is 4 doubles, and then this little guy is going to count as a stitch. I'm going to pause the video so you don't get bored with my 19 double crochets. Be right back. Okay, I've done all my doubles. You can see mine kind of curls. That means that my foundation chain was a little tight. So just make sure that your foundation chain is loose enough, or decide, like me, not to care, because this project, it's not super important. So now you should have 19 double crochets, and then over here you've got that chain 3, which is going to count as 20. To do row 2, you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn your work. Now, you are going to skip this first stitch, because if we have said a second ago that chains are going to count as a stitch, then this chain already has dibs. So putting somebody else here is no good. So then we're going to skip that, and we're going to go here. So yarn over, go in here. So that's 1, 2, and we're going to do 18 all the way across, and then the 19th is going to go in that last chain. So I'm going to double when I pause this video, if I can stop working. Hold on. Okay, friends, we've done 17 doubles, trust me, and then we've got that beginning chain 3, very blurry. Come on. Okay. So now the last 2, we've got this double. He looks normal, so we're going to put 18 right here, and then number 19 is going to go here. Now, I love you, but if you're a beginner, you are going to really want to skip this stitch, because he just looks like a little bump. You're like, aren't you cute? No, he's important. If you pull it out like this, he demands attention. We are going to work into the top of this chain, because we said that chains are going to count as a stitch. So stitch number 19 is going to go in him. So go between, very exciting. So now you got 19 doubles and then a starting chain, sorry. Now granted, this part is kind of rounded, a rounded little corner, but if you do like this, he's pointed. So trust me, if you find that you're getting kind of a pyramid trapezoid situation, I love you, but chances are you skipped one of these chains. I guarantee it. It's not personal. It's every crocheter ever. So for row 3, same as row 2. Chain 2, skip that first stitch, and double into the second. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing all the way across until we get to the end, and then I'll remind you that you get to chain, just kidding, double into that turning chain. So I'm going to pause the video and be right back. Okay, so we're at the end of row 3, and we have this to deal with. Move all this yarn nonsense out of the way. So we've got a double, and then we've got this chain. So we're going to do double in here. And again, like if you're not paying attention, I often don't pay attention. This guy just gets all cute and you're like, oh, it's just a weird shape. When you see a weird shape in crochet, that just tells you to double check. So we are going to work into the top of that turning chain to be our 19th double. So again, there's 19 doubles and then this turning chain at the beginning, so it counts as 20. Great. Now, end of row 3 means we have our bow height. It's just 3 rows. So exciting. So now for the tricky part. Oh, I just thought of something. If you have a yarn needle, you can cut your yarn and then fold these two things together, and you can whip stitch, which is go in the front and go around, go in the front, go in the front, go in the front, go in the front, and it's a spiral to sew these two together. The way I usually do bows is I work in the round like a cup cozy, but again, my beginner class, we're just not there yet. So this is the easier way, and you're about to ask me if I'm crazy. So you can cut your yarn and sew these edges together, or you can slip stitch them together. This is not for the faint of heart, but you can do it. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go in between both pieces. And this is going to be not perfect or cute. If you've met me, you know that I'm not into either of those things. So you go kind of into both pieces somehow. You yarn over, come back out of all of it, and then pull this through that loop already on your hook, and that's a slip stitch. And keep these kind of loose, although it doesn't really matter because we're going to pinch this part together anyway. So then just kind of scooch over a little bit and do the same thing. Go in, yarn over, come back out, and then pull that loop through the one that's on your hook. Very exciting. Yeah, you're just kind of going under a couple loops on your first piece and then between some chains on your next piece. Yarn over, come back out, or yarn over, pull through the one that's on your hook already. All right, I think I might go like 2 more maybe, or just 1. Yeah, let's go 2. It's not a perfect exact science. So please don't get frustrated. Just be excited that there is freedom. All right, I'm going to do this last one. Yarn over, pull through the guy on my hook. So now he's all stitched together. Ta-da! We have our own little like ringy thing. I guess you can make a cup cozy this way if you're into that, but I don't recommend it. We'll do cup cozies later. So now we're here. What I want you to do is I want you to open it and fold it kind of flat. And this is the beginning of This is the beginning of our bow. What I want you to do is get about 3 feet or so of yarn. And you're like, Summer, I'm not measuring 3 feet. Oh, dude, don't. The distance from your nose to your fingertip is probably a little less than 3 feet, unless you're really tall. So it's half your wingspan. I'm almost 6 feet tall, so it's about 3 feet. Just get yourself a bunch of yarn. So I'm gonna do. That looks about right. Get rid of this guy. See you later. Okay. So now you've still got your loop. You're gonna pull this guy through. The loop that was on your hook. pull this guy. Okay. And you still have your tail. He's kind of annoying, but whatever. So you've got this guy kind of folded in half and you've got your little seam here. And what you're going to do, you can turn it around, is kind of pinch. I mean, you can kind of see where this is going. He's starting to look like a bow, which is very exciting. So for the very first couple of wraps, I'm going to use both strands, both my tail and my new tail, to kind of wrap them together. You just kind of pinch them, and it does not have to be super cute at this point. You see how one side is bigger than the other. You can always scooch. Summer, get it together. 1, 2. Okay, get a grip. There we go. So maybe one side's bigger than the other, and you can always kind of scooch because you're not really pinning it down. It's still kind of loose under there. And so then I wrap just the rest of it around and around. You can kind of look at it and go, yeah, you know, scooch this. Do. You're like, yeah, I'm good. Or you can just keep wrapping. It's whatever. And so now I've got maybe a foot of tail. And I'm going to need something to sew this with. So I might just go ahead and stop and leave that as my tail to sew to my project. Now and if you're like, oh no, it's too skinny, I want to keep wrapping, cool. And then just use a separate piece of yarn for your tail. So to secure this guy, turn it over. You got this tail kind of wandering around. What I do is I go under, just kind of some of them, all of them, whatever, and yarn over and get the tail, kind of gently pull him through, and now he's stuck. So that's the back. It's not super cute. Here's the front. And you can always kind of fluff and pooch and whatever whenever you sew it down or put it on whatever. Blurry. Very sorry. And now you've got your tail to sew it onto your project. If you've got any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments or email me or find me on Facebook, message me, all the things. And best of luck with all of your appliques. Talk to you soon. Bye.